Hey, everybody, it's Maria Boynton. The topic, women in politics, and how crucial it is for there to be representation in the African American community specifically. I guess we could say Sonya Allen is my guest now. Sonya, you're over anti-corruption for the Fulton County District Attorney's Office.
I am. I'm the Deputy District Attorney over that unit.
How long you been doing that?
I've been doing that position for about 3.5 years now.
You know, when someone approaches you, they would probably say that you seem to be shy, you seem to be so sweet, innocent perhaps, but they just don't know your background. So you are a deputy DA in the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, but you also have many years in law enforcement.
I do. I am a retiree, veteran of the Cobb County Sheriff's Office. I did 30 years there.
You know how to shoot a gun.
I do very
so you
well.
Are, I was saying you are a dangerous woman. So we had District Attorney Fonnie Willis on in reference to why it's important when it comes to representation and women in politics. When it comes to women in politics, and everyone, when we're talking to Sonya Allen with the DA's office, how important do you feel that representation is?
I think it's very important. We have experiences and our perceptions and things that we draw from, and we use those perceptions and experience in our day-to-day decisions and the roles that we play.
Okay, so when we talk about you working in anti-corruption, that's huge. I mean, that's a big job. I mean, what do you say to people when they say, how can you handle such a huge job? And they criticize women thinking we can't do it.
I say that I think women are the ones who actually are fit for the job, that can do the job.
How so?
We have always, the barriers that I've had to experience and go through, 30 years in law enforcement, beginning a career back 30 years ago in the early 90s, I was one of one in many of my units. So I always had to prove myself. I always had to do things that I thought others didn't have to do just to be equal. And so it conditioned me to do more and to not stop before getting the job done. I tell everyone, you know, my hours of work were always can till can't. And that's the motive and the means that I operate on. So.
To what do you attribute, and everyone, we're talking to Sonya Allen now with the DA's office in Fulton County over the anti-corruption unit, to what do you attribute your ability to be able to pull through?
I attribute it to having a strong mom. My mom, it's not typical. I know many of my friends' mothers would, console them when things didn't go right. And my mom would say, Sonya, kick, and I won't say what she said, as long as that lasts, do it. She said, you don't have time to feel sorry for yourself.
I can only imagine what Mom said.
Yes.
I can only imagine. And how important is having the support of your family?
It's very important because a lot of times, those are the people you trust, and those are the people who really have your best interests at heart. And people will tell you anything when you're in positions with titles, and you need that person to put you back in reality and tell you what the truth is. Sometimes you have people that are just around you to make you feel good and say the right things, but really you need to hear the hard things, and you need to know the things that are going to make you better.
Media scrutiny, public scrutiny, it's enough to make people shy away from the profession that you and so many others have chosen, and so many are growing into and are choosing even more so. And specifically when we talk about African American women, what do you say to those who they're shying away because of the scrutiny that they're seeing exposed in the media or otherwise?
I say don't give up. It happens all the time. It's happening in the unit that I work. People scrutinize the way that we, view our cases and the way we proceed with our cases. But as long as you're doing what's right and you look yourself in the mirror, don't back down. We have to fight, and doing those things paves the way for other people to do what you do. I tell my daughter every day, I'm a single mom, and I had her, and I tell her every day, you are here to be exceptional. Whatever that is, exceptional for you. And I don't ever want her to think that she can't. People say things to young women, young black females, and they make them feel a certain way. And I try to let her know that those things should never, ever make you feel down. Look at what her grandmother has done. Look at what I do. We don't have time in this world to sit back and draw from people's negativities or people's pressures. We make our own way, and we fight.
Following the letter of the law, what do you tell those who might be inspiring to be the next Sonya Allen or be like Sonya Allen when it comes to following the letter of the law, or on the other side, when it comes to finding yourself in a not so favorable position, what do you tell them?
I just tell them that I'm doing what I think is right. Looking myself in the mirror every day is very important to me. I was adopted. My name means something, and I don't ever want that tarnished. So if I make a decision, I don't make any decisions lightly. I take time, I process them, and I vet out every case that we have, and we move forward that way with knowing that we've done the right thing. So it doesn't matter what people say. We know that we've moved forward in a way that is honorable and filled with integrity and respect.
Talk to me about representation. I mean, when you're in that courtroom, or when you're meeting with someone, and or you walk into a courtroom and you see African American women sitting in there, why is it important that a Sonya Allen shows up?
I think it's important because there are people that don't believe that women like Sonya Allen should be where Sonya Allen is. And so for me to show up and be just as good or just as hard as working, I think it means something to people. And people are watching, and people look to the role models out there in the world. I don't consider myself a role model, but I do consider myself an example of what can happen. My mom is one of the only children out of 8 who had, of her kids, who actually went to school. My grandfather fought for them all to be able to go to school. He had the first bus in our hometown that bused the black children in the community to school. And he had 8 kids, and out of the 8 kids, out of all the kids that those kids had, I'm the only one that went to college. So it's important to me that people know the importance of when people fight to get you somewhere, that you carry on that tradition and you don't ever give up. You do things in your own way, but you never, ever give up.
Prosecutorially, females, African Americans, growing in number. How do you feel about that?
I think it's wonderful. I think it's great. I think it shows that we have a seat at the table. That I know when I was in law school, some of my girlfriends and I, we would talk about how, some of the other students that were there, they had long histories of lawyers in their family, their fathers, their grandfathers, their great-grandfathers. But, for me as a black female, I didn't have a history of anyone in my family being a lawyer or going to school past college. So we had to draw off of each other, and, we had to find out things a different way. The internet wasn't, super fast and good back in those days, so it was really word of mouth, and that was a disadvantage to us. We didn't know how to prepare for our finals. We didn't know how to write our briefs the same way, but we had to lean on each other. And so now I feel it's important that for those of us who are in this position, that we always try to give back and try to help and try to, nurture the people who are following in our footsteps.
You're in Cobb County.
I am.
So Sheriff Craig Owens?
I do.
He has a program, Women's History Month, where he, of course, highlights women and how well they are doing. You bring a wealth of knowledge. I just love the fact that you know how to shoot a gun. But when we talk about Cobb County, a lot of firsts are starting to happen, even more so in Cobb County.
Yes.
You've been there to witness quite a few, and knowing that you're among them, how does that feel?
It feels great. Like I said, starting back in the early 90s, I can remember being assigned to work undercover in the narcotics unit there, and being the only female and the only black female. And so I was often borrowed from other agencies because they didn't have a female or a black female that could go in and make hand-to-hand purchases and things of that nature. I can remember being the first of many things that I did, but what I'm most proud of is actually being named the first black female chief deputy in Cobb County.
Sonya Allen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. I love being here, and thank you.